The night was supposed to be routine, another game in the grueling grind of the WNBA season, another chance for the Indiana Fever to claw their way toward a secure playoff spot. But what unfolded wasn't routine at all. It became a story of resilience and heartbreak, of a young player rising to the moment when everything else seemed to crumble around her. On this night, Lexie Hull didn't just play basketball. She seized the spotlight, dropped the best performance of her young career, and sent a message that she is more than a role player in Indiana's system. Yet, her brilliance was overshadowed by a devastating reality. The Fever are running out of bodies, and they may be running out of time. The game opened with energy that felt different from the start. Indiana moved the ball crisply, and in the middle of it all was Hull, slicing through defenders with backdoor cuts, burying threes that barely grazed the rim, and attacking with the kind of confidence that head coach Stephanie White has begged her to show. By halftime, Hull had already poured in 18 points, carrying an offense stripped of its stars. She played like someone who knew the responsibility was hers to take, because there simply was no one else left. Every time she curled off a screen or caught the defense sleeping, she punished Minnesota, putting the Fever in position to dream about an upset that could change the momentum of their season. For Hull, it wasn't just about scoring. She moved without hesitation, crashing the glass, sprinting through open lanes, and hunting her shots with the kind of aggressiveness that White later praised in the post-game press conference. She was hunting shots, White said. She was aggressive to the rim. She knew we needed another scorer on the floor, and she gave us that. That change in mindset, from waiting for opportunities to creating them, made Hull the heartbeat of Indiana's attack. She wasn't just reacting to the defense, she was dictating the game, but the brilliance of one player cannot cover the cracks in a roster stretched to its breaking point. The Fever entered this contest already battered. Caitlin Clark had been sidelined since mid-July with a groin injury. Sophie Cunningham was lost for the year with a torn MCL. Sydney Colson's season ended after an ACL tear, and Ari McDonald was shut down because of a foot injury. That's 4 rotation players gone before the opening tip. Then disaster struck again. Chloe Bibby, dealing with knee soreness, was held out after pre-game warm-ups. And in the fourth quarter, Odyssey Sims limped off and never returned, awaiting further evaluation. Just like that, the number climbed to 6. 6 rotation players gone. The toll was brutal. By the end of the night, Hull was the only healthy regular wing left standing. She played nearly 37 minutes, often defending multiple positions while carrying the offense. Kelsey Mitchell, Indiana's engine, logged heavy minutes herself, scoring 27 and drilling 5 threes, but even she looked drained as the second half wore on. Aaliyah Boston battled inside, trying to hold off Minnesota's relentless front court, but the Fever's lack of depth left her stranded, and Shea Petty, signed just days before on a hardship contract, was thrown into the fire, delivering a surprising 10 points in her debut, but still struggling to orchestrate an offense she barely had time to learn. The cracks widened after halftime. Indiana entered the break with momentum, but then came the collapse. Minnesota erupted in the third quarter, outscoring the Fever 32-7. What had been a hard-fought battle turned into a rout in minutes. The Lynx spread the floor, punished every late rotation, and crashed the offensive glass until Indiana's defense gave way. Boston was forced into impossible positions under the rim, 2 steps late on closeouts as shooters rained jumpers around her. The Fever's offense disintegrated too. Without seasoned point guards to run the system, possessions broke down into rushed shots and careless turnovers. Plays that once flowed through Caitlin Clark now stalled at the top of the key, ending in desperation heaves. Fans watching could feel the momentum shift, and once again the spotlight turned to the sidelines. This wasn't the first time Indiana had played a strong first half, only to unravel in the third quarter. Critics pointed fingers at Stephanie White, questioning whether her in-game adjustments, or lack thereof, were part of the problem. Opponents consistently come out of halftime with a new plan, while the Fever's approach too often looks the same. White acknowledged the breakdowns afterward, citing turnovers and defensive miscommunication with new point guards just thrown into the system. But for fans, the explanations are wearing thin. The pattern has repeated too many times, and the margin for error in this playoff race is razor thin. Still, within the chaos, there were moments that revealed the fight still burning inside this team. Mitchell, playing through exhaustion, showed why her teammates honored her with MVP Kelsey shirts before the game. She has been the one constant, the franchise cornerstone holding Indiana together when everything else has fallen apart. Her 27 points weren't just numbers on a stat sheet, they were a declaration that no matter how bleak the situation looks, she refuses to let the Fever fold. Boston, though not dominant, gave steady production, 15 points and 6 rebounds, while battling through mismatches and fatigue. Petty's spark off the bench proved that even hardship signees can contribute when belief runs deep, and Hull's 23-point outburst was more than just a breakout game. It was a glimpse of what could be if this roster were ever fully healthy. A reminder that hidden talent waits in Indiana, desperate for a chance to shine, but the reality remains brutal. 6 players are injured, the playoff cushion is shrinking, and every halftime collapse chips away at what little hope the Fever can cling to. They sit in 6th place, but only a half game ahead of 7th, and just a game and a half clear of 9th. The danger zone is closer than ever. Every loss like this feels like 2, because time is running out and opportunities to climb are slipping away. The emotional weight hangs heavy. Players admitted after the game that fatigue is real, that roles are being learned on the fly, that every timeout feels like a chance to catch breath more than strategize. White herself admitted they don't want to play Hull 40 minutes, but when the roster is this thin, there are no other options. For fans, frustration mixes with empathy. They see the effort, the fight, the resilience. They also see the breakdowns, the coaching hesitations, and the pattern of wasted leads. It begs the question, is this truly about poor adjustments, or is this simply a roster too decimated by injuries to be judged fairly? What is certain is that Lexie Hull gave Indiana a reason to believe, if only for a night. Her performance was a statement. She is not just a stopgap, not just a role player filling space until the stars return. She is capable of carrying the offense, of playing with the confidence and aggression that Indiana desperately needs. Alongside Mitchell's leadership and Boston's steady presence, Hull's rise could become the blueprint for the Fever's survival, but only if they can find a way to hold leads, to play full 40-minute games, and to weather the storm of injuries threatening to sink their season. As the clock ticks on the playoff race, the Fever now face the harshest stretch of their journey. They will see Minnesota again, and dropping back-to-back games could erase their fragile cushion. The question is whether Hull's breakout night can serve as a spark, or whether it will go down as a fleeting highlight in a season defined by heartbreak. Now it comes to you. Do you believe this collapse falls on the shoulders of Stephanie White, too slow to adjust when opponents shift their game plan? Or do you see a roster so gutted by injuries that any judgment feels unfair? Should Indiana's front office be looking for emergency solutions, or should fans simply hold on and hope the storm passes? And most importantly, do you think Lexie Hull has proven she deserves a bigger role even when the Fever are healthy again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you support Hull and the Fever's fight, type Lexie Show to let us know you're riding with her. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the stories that shape the game. Because if this night proved anything, it's that even in the darkest stretches of a season, moments of brilliance can still shine through.